Okay, hello all. Welcome again. Right now we will introduce international agency, mostly focusing on the United Nations or UN and other specialized UN agencies that operate in the international arena. My name is Zohir Chaudhary. So in here, in this chart, you can see a lot of international agencies that have a key role in public health implementation around the globe. And some of these agencies operate at the global health arena, other focus on environmental health aspect and other public health aspect in both developed and developing countries. It is worthwhile to go over some of these agencies, and we will be talking in here agencies that are under the United Nations umbrella and the one that are operating at a multilateral role around the globe. So the United Nations, this is an intergovernmental organization established in 1945, right after the Second World War, to promote international cooperation and prevent future conflicts. Currently, it has about 193 member countries, and it is headquartered in New York City. Five principal organs of the United Nations are UN General Assembly, which it's for all UN member states, UN Secretariat, which is the administrative organ of the United Nations, and then International Court of Justice, which is the court for international laws, and then UN Security Council, which is for international security issues. And the last two is UN Economic and Social Council, which the focus is for global economic and social affairs. And the last one is UN Trusteeship Council, which is currently inactive. Beside these organs, United Nations has specialized agencies, which many of you already are familiar, the well-known WHO, or the World Health Organization, based in Geneva, Switzerland, and then UNICEF, which is the United Nations Children's Fund, FAO, which is Food and Agriculture Organization, and these three in red we will discuss in this lecture. Beside, we have also UNESCO, UNAIDS, and that are also specialized organizations, which we will not discuss in this presentation. In here, you can see the United Nations system and all of the organizations, specialized agencies that are in its umbrella. It is worthwhile to spend a little bit of time studying this chart, which will give you a good perspective of the various agencies and the interrelationships of those agencies that operate under the United Nations umbrella and work in different health and environmental problems around the globe. Environmental as well as economic problem around the globe. So the first agency that we'll discuss in here in more detail is the specialized agency, which is the World Health Organization, or WHO. Its constitutional function is to act as the directing and coordinating authority on all international health work. Its objective is attainment of the highest level of health by all people around the globe. It does have quite a few key roles, among them prevention and control of specific diseases, development of comprehensive health services, family health, environmental health, health statistics, biomedical research, health literature and information, cooperation with other organizations in implementing all of these things. WHO's role in environmental health is quite important. It's a major agency, international agency responsible for environmental health at the global level, provides leadership in minimizing adverse environmental health outcomes associated with pollution, industrial development, and related issues. It is important to know that WHO does not have any standard setting capability. It mostly provides guidelines. Standards are set by the country themselves based on technological feasibility, economic consideration, political and social factors, as well as development and national capability in management of environmental problems. WHO was born in April 1945, but it was formalized 3 years later on 7th April 1948. And since then, 7th April has been known as the World Health Day. Every year there's a new theme, and each on 7th April, a new theme is proposed, and that provides the agenda for that specific year, the focus agenda for the specific year. WHO operates in 6 WHO regions listed in here and coded in color. So Southeast Asia, the headquarters is New Delhi, India. In Africa is Harare in Zimbabwe. In the Americas is Washington, DC. In Europe is Copenhagen, Denmark. In Eastern Mediterranean, the headquarters is in Alexandria, Egypt. And then finally, Western Pacific region is headquartered in Manila, Philippines. The WHO Director General right now is Tedros Adhanom since July 1, 2018. Prior to him, the Director General was Dr. Margaret Chan, who was the director for about 12 years since 2006. The next agency under the United Nations that we'll briefly discuss is the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF. UNICEF advocates and works for the protection of children's rights. UNICEF works in over 190 countries and territories to save children's lives, to defend their rights, and to help them fulfill their potential from early childhood through adolescence. Key messages that UNICEF delivers is that every child has the right to grow up in a safe and inclusive environment. Every child has the right to survive and thrive. Every child has the right to learn. Every child has the right to an equitable chance in life, and every girl has the right to fulfill her potential. And you can see the website here. The Food and Drug Organization, or FAO for short, is a specialized agency for the United Nations that leads international efforts to defeat hunger. Its goal is to achieve food security for all and make sure that people have regular access to enough high-quality food to lead active, healthy lives. With over 194 member states, FAO works in over 130 countries worldwide, and it believes that everyone can play a part in ending hunger. It is headquartered in Rome, Italy, and it has outlined the following 5 priorities to fight against hunger. 1, help eliminate hunger, food insecurity and malnutrition. 2, make agriculture, forestry, and fisheries more productive and sustainable. 3, reduce rural poverty. 4, ensure inclusive and efficient agricultural and food systems. And 5, increase the resilience of livelihoods through threats and crises. Shifting to multilateral development banks, we have the World Bank, which is one multilateral development bank. It has regional development banks under its, so beside the World Bank, which operates globally, there are regional development banks such as African development banks, Asian development banks, and the Inter-American development banks. Each operates in their respective regions. These banks are owned by the member countries and they lend or grant money to countries to promote economic and social development. So as an example of a multilateral bank, the World Bank is headquartered in Washington, DC. The World Bank is a vital source of financial and technical assistance to developing countries around the globe, provides low interest loan, 0 to low interest credits and grants. It invests in education, health, public administration, infrastructure development, financial and private sector development, agriculture, as well as environment. It focuses on poverty reduction and different developmental works, mostly in low-income countries. The World Bank has set 2 goals for the world to achieve by 2030. end extreme poverty by decreasing the percentage of people living on less than $1.90 per day to no more than 3%, and promote shared prosperity by fostering the economic growth of bottom 40% for every country. The World Bank promotes long-term economic development and poverty reduction by providing technical and financial support to help countries reform certain sectors or implement specific projects, such as building schools and health centers, providing water and electricity, fighting disease, and protecting the environment. World Bank assistance is generally long-term and is funded both by member country contributions and through bond issuance. World Bank staff are often specialists on particular issues, sectors, or techniques. The World Bank classifies nations by different income classifications. Currently, it has 4 income groupings. So nations are classified as low income, low middle income, or upper middle income, or high income based on specific income measures. Income is measured using gross national income, or GNI, per capita in US dollars converted from local currency using the World Bank Atlas method. You can go to these websites to see specific countries and what income classifications they fall under. Another multilateral bank or agency is the IMF, or International Monetary Fund. The IMF and the World Bank were both created at the international conference convened in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, United States in July 1944. The goal of the conference was to establish a framework for economic cooperation and development that would lead to a more stable and prosperous global economy. Today, its membership embraces 190 countries. The International Monetary Fund and the World Bank are institutions in the United Nations system. They share the same goal of raising living standards in their member countries. Their approaches to this goal are complementary, with the IMF focusing on macroeconomic and financial stability issues, and the World Bank concentrating on long-term economic development and poverty reduction. The IMF and the World Bank collaborate on a routine basis and at many levels to assist member countries, including joint participation in several initiatives. Here you can see the specific statistics as it pertains to the IMF. So I hope that this discussion about international agencies focusing on mostly focusing introducing the United Nations agencies and these multilateral agencies was useful to you. And I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.